Hey everyone, James Niggemeyer here. Thank you for tuning back into my YouTube channel. Today I want to do a quick tackle tip. This tackle tip revolves around topwater baits, specifically ones with treble hooks. Whether it's a chugger type bait like a KVD Splash, or a sexy dog, or spook type bait like this cigar style bait here. This is a Strike King Sexy Dog, and then there's a Sexy Dog Junior. But walk the dog type baits, topwater baits with treble hooks, I generally love to throw them with braided line, all my topwaters. But there's a quick tip that I'm going to show you here that I feel like no doubt it'll be help you be more efficient and help you catch more fish. Before I get right into it, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. So getting right into it. Number one, I'm gonna go ahead and take this topwater bait off the braided line. Generally with topwater baits, I like to throw 30 or 50 pound test braided line. But one of the issues with braided line is that as the bait's moving back and forth, it'll sometimes get caught, the braided line will, on that front hook. Like if it's tied like this, the front hook will get caught on it as you're working it, and it'll end up in a fouled cast. And so you'll have to reel it back in and make another presentation. And a lot of times when you throw to a high percentage spot or a place you think you're gonna get some fish, that first cast is important. So if you get the bait fouled on the, if the braided line catches that front treble hook or one of the treble hooks, either in the cast, but mainly as you're working it back, it'll catch one of those treble hooks because the bait will skate forward and catch that braided line, because the braided line really just has almost zero memory. And of course it floats, which makes it great for topwater. But one of the inherent problems with it being, no memory is that it's not going to push out in front of the bait. As you're walking the bait, it's not going to push out forward. It's just going to accordion like that and loop around that front treble hook. So what I like to do is put a little section of copolymer line or monofilament line, and the one that I really like is the Gamma Polyflex. And since I'm throwing a triple hooked bait, a larger walk the dog style bait, cigar bait like that, I'm gonna go with 17. If I was going with like a smaller chugger or popper style bait, I might drop down to 12 or 14 depending upon how the cover is. But for this bait, I'm gonna use 17 pound test, and I like the green color. I feel like that green is it just matches the water more times than not, and it's a little more camouflaged. So I take a section of that. Actually, first I'm gonna go ahead and tie a junction knot between my braided line and my copolymer. And there's a couple knots that I really like. One of them is the FG knot. The FG knot's just kind of a tougher knot to tie, but there's another knot that I feel like is great. The only drawback with it is it's more of a thicker bodied knot, doesn't go through your guide. So if I'm just tying a small section, it works great for topwater. If I want something that'll go through the guides, then I'm gonna go with an FG. But the knot I'm talking about is a blood knot, and I've done a video about it in the past. If you want to check that out, just look under my YouTube channel, James Niggemeyer Fishing, for the blood knot. Okay, so I went ahead and tied the blood knot. There it is. It's kind of hard to see, but I cut the tag ends nice and tight. So then I'm going to just go with maybe 12 to 16 inch leader length. So, pull that off like this, about 12 to 16 inches of copolymer. And then I'm just going to tie on my bait like regular. I generally like to tie my monofilaments and copolymer type lines with a Palomar. So just go ahead and tie that up. You're ready to go at that point. One of the bad things about the Palomar is it eats up a lot of your leader length. I think you can see my leader length is probably now about 14 inches right here. This is the knot here. But that helps a lot because the mono or copolymer has a lot of memory. And as you're working the bait, it pushes the line out in front of it, has less of a tendency to get hung up on that front hook. Just a quick tip on topwater fishing, how to be more efficient and productive and even catch more fish with less fouled cast. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel, and until next time, good fishing.